This code sample includes two files, directive-demo.js and directive-demo.html. The directive-demo.html includes two script elements. The first refers the Angular library, the second refers the directive-demo.js, the other file our code sample includes. When the web browser goes over the code, it executes this code. So we first create a new module. The application variable is assigned with a reference for an object that represents a new module. Its name is sample-app. And this new module applies for the entire HTML element, because we place the ng-app attribute assigned with the name of the module we create. Now over here we get to see the h4 element with the ng controller attribute assigned with the controller. It means that the day controller is responsible for this specific HTML element. Now over here, calling the controller function, we create a new controller. Its name is day controller, and the controller we created is actually this function. This very specific function we pass over to the controller function. This function is executed, and the reference for an object that represents the scope of where the controller applies is passed over to this parameter. So over here we actually create a new model. Its name is day, and its value is one of the strings the names array includes. We can refer the model day and get its value. So over here we get the value Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Now over here we can find the call to the directive function for creating a new directive. Its name is myDirective. A directive is kind of an attribute we can add to the tag that starts an element. So here we use the directive that its name is myDirective, and a directive is actually a function that is returned when calling the function we pass over as the second argument to the directive function. So the myDirective directive we have here, when it takes place, it means that this function is executed, and the element parameter is assigned with the reference for the object that represents the element where we use the directive. Scope parameter is assigned with a reference for an object that represents the scope. So we can actually access to scope.day because we have a model, its name is day. So if we try to access scope.day, we actually get the value of the model day. The last parameter is assigned with a reference for an object which is an array. An array in JavaScript is a collection of key value pairs. The keys are the names of the attributes that were used over here in this element, and the values are the values that were assigned to those attributes that were in use. So in this case we have the attribute myDirective assigned with the value Wednesday, meaning that here we get the string Wednesday. And here the simple logic is just checking to verify that the value of the model day is the value that was assigned to myDirective attribute, and if this is the case, then this code will be executed and the result would be getting the color of the text to be green. And because I execute this code sample on Wednesday, I get to see this text in green. This text, which is the text between these two tags. The two tags of the element my directive applies to.